Hi, welcome to Bookey. Today we will unlock the book Good Economics for Hard Times, Better Answers to Our Biggest Problems. Back in 2011, Professor Zhang Weiwei from the Geneva School of Diplomacy and International Relations proposed a brand new political viewpoint in his book The China Shock. Perhaps we should stop thinking in terms of crude and outdated concepts such as democracy and authoritarianism, and instead think in terms of good and bad politics. Good politics refers to the kind that raises the overall quality of the life and happiness of the citizens, whereas bad politics does the opposite. In the 2019 book Good Economics for Hard Times, Drs. Abhijit V. Banerjee and Esther Duflo put forward a similar stance. They suggest that we abandon our bad GDP-centered economics in favor of an academic discipline that puts human dignity back at the forefront, or in other words good economics that can improve the quality of life and well-being of our citizens. In the modern world, the problems brought about by inequality, globalization, and slow economic growth are ever present, and we need to find better solutions to deal with them in these troubled times. Historically, economists have been tasked with helping us to overcome tough times. But the plight of today's economists may be more precarious than ever, because the public no longer has trust in them. One British survey asked respondents, from the following list of professionals, who do you trust most when they are giving their expert opinion? Nurses topped the poll with 84% of the vote, while politicians came in last at just 5%. And how did economists do? Getting a mere 25% of the votes, they placed only slightly higher than politicians. In the United States, classically trained economists have a vastly different way of thinking compared to the average American. A study invited some economists and 1,000 laypeople to answer the same 20 questions, and found that on average, 35% of the general population disagree with the economists on each issue. Worse still, even telling people in advance what economists think about an issue does little to change their original opinion. From these findings, it can be concluded that Americans tend to reject economists' views in regards to the economy. One of the main reasons for this phenomenon is frequent media reports about pseudo-economists, which have damaged the credibility of the profession. Many academic economists are reluctant to take on the thankless job of correcting misconceptions and educating the public. Fortunately, Drs. Banerjee and Duflo have stepped up to make plain the results of good economic research, helping us to gain a better understanding of the challenges of their field. It goes without saying that economics is a highly complex system with a lot of uncertainty. This makes the job of economists similar to the development of new drugs. A good economist can never be 100% sure that they have mastered the truth. Rather, once they have reasonable confidence in their hypothesis, they put it to the test and gather feedback from the empirical results. This allows them to refine their original idea and approach a viable solution step by step. The key here is to obtain a viable solution, not the right one or a flawless one. In this Bookey, we will introduce the book in 3 parts. Part 1, the problem of immigration. Part 2, the problem of trade. Part 3, the problem of growth. Let's begin the first part by looking at the problem of immigration. In 2019, then President Donald Trump began building a border wall between the United States and Mexico to keep out illegal immigrants. Several years before that, the media reported unceasingly on the European refugee crisis. The reports on the Zimbabwe refugees in South Africa, the Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh, and many other mass immigration movements, all created the illusion of a serious refugee problem that would throw the world into chaos if we allowed it to continue unchecked. The authors of this book point out that the refugee and immigration problems aren't as dire as they seem. Based on statistical data in 2017, the percentage of immigrants worldwide was nearly the same as in 1960 or in 1990, around 3%. Most of these migrants made the move legally by finding a job abroad or taking refuge with relatives living in the country. The European Union did see a large influx of refugees between 2015 and 2016, however, this was a rare exception rather than the norm. As of 2018, the number of asylum seekers in the EU had fallen to 638,000, among which only 38% had been granted in